Jared Spangler.
Do you need me to do anything with the exhibit?
Thank you, though.
Are you doing
Step on up there. I'm just gonna swear you in.
Morning.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes. And sir, please state your full name and spell it for the record.
My full name is Jared Spangler. It's Jared. Spangler is Spangler.
State where you're ready.
Sir, how are you employed?
I am a detective with the Henderson Police Department.
How long have you worked in that capacity?
I have been a detective for 15 years, and I've been with the Henderson Police Department for 22 years.
What unit are you assigned to as a detective?
I currently work in the Digital Forensic Lab.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury a little bit about that unit?
Yeah, the Digital Forensic Lab analyzes cell phones, computers, tablets, vehicle infotainment systems, smart devices. Anytime there's a crime that occurs where there's an electronic device that may have potential evidence, it comes to the Digital Forensic Lab, and we analyze it in a forensically sound method so that we can extract the data and then be able to present it to the detective for their investigation, for their final determination of what they're going to do with their investigation.
And what type of programs are used to do that?
There's several different programs. We have, specifically for cell phones, we use Celebrite. We also use another software company called Axiom. Those work as well for tablets. When it comes to vehicles, we have a software system called Burla. And there's some other ones, but those are the main ones that we utilize to extract the data from those devices and then to analyze that data.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background, training, and experience that makes you qualified to be able to do these investigations?
Yes. So, like I said, I've been in the Digital Forensic Lab for about 10 years now. I've performed over 3,900 examinations, all sorts of different devices. I've been trained by the FBI, the HSI, Secret Service. They have a national facility that they train law enforcement in how to perform these type of investigations. I've received a little over 1,200 hours of training and certifications from that facility alone. I've also had training and certifications from every specific vendor for the programs that we utilize. So like I said, Celebrite and Axiom and Burla, those softwares that I mentioned, I'm certified to use those as well. They have specific vendor certifications, and I have those as well.
So then turning your attention to this case, on August 8th of 2023, were you contacted by Detective Ozawa in regards to a vehicle infotainment system?
Yes, I was.
And was the obtaining of that vehicle infotainment system a part of a search warrant that was granted by a judge?
Yes, that is correct.
And this was for a homicide investigation that had occurred on August 7th, 2023, or began at that time?
Correct.
I believe the request was made by Detective Ozawa for this investigation, the digital investigation, and that was to be performed on a gray 2017 Nissan Armada. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And the VIN number for that is JN8AY2NF9H9300802. Is that correct?
That sounds correct.
Do you have a reason to dispute that?
That sounds right, yeah.
Okay. And it was your understanding that that vehicle had belonged to a Devyn Michaels, correct?
Correct.
And did you actually make contact with the vehicle?
I did, yes.
Where did you make contact with the vehicle?
The vehicle was located in the basement of our police station, and so that's where I went to the basement.
And is that common sometimes for vehicles to have their investigations done in that basement area?
Yes, it's a secure area where it's not going to be disturbed. No one will be around the vehicle. It has a door that prevents anybody from coming in and potentially altering any evidence or anything like that.
So it's a very contained area, is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
When you came into contact with the vehicle, it had already previously been sealed prior to being transported to this basement, correct?
That is correct.
And prior to your testimony, there were a lot of photos that were taken in this case, but you saw the vehicle yourself, correct?
I did.
Okay, and you reviewed these photos prior to testifying today, these in my hand, correct?
Yes, I did.
And I believe pursuant to stipulation between the parties, the state is going to move to admit 442 through 463.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
442 to 463, we stipulated to.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
Showing youth 442. What do we see there?
That's the 2017 Nissan Armada.
And 443, another angle of that.
Yes. Same vehicle.
444,
Yes.
445, we get a license plate there, and can you read that into the record?
Yep. It's Nevada 30A as an Adam 470.
446, another angle of the vehicle.
Yes.
And I want to note both passenger doors to this vehicle. There appears to be these red tapings there. What are those?
That is evidence tape that I believe the crime scene analysts are the one that put those on there so that you would know if someone's opened the door, if it's been altered, because the seal would be broken.
And that's the ceiling we were talking about earlier,
Yes.
correct? 447, just a close-up there with the seal, correct?
Correct.
Then 448, obviously you go inside the vehicle, is that right?
Yes.
And is this just a photo of inside the vehicle, the front side of the vehicle?
Yes, driver's side.
449, what do we see here?
The gear shifter and the middle console.
450, another angle of that area
Yes,
taken from the passenger side.
that is correct.
451, are you aware of this being located inside the vehicle?
I didn't personally see it.
Okay. But no reason to dispute that it would have been
Correct.
found in the vehicle.
Yes.
452, are we getting to the back of the vehicle now?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and this would be on the driver's side, correct?
Correct.
453, same back of the vehicle, but now from the passenger side.
Yes.
454, is this just under the hood of the vehicle,
Yes, it is.
the engine area?
Yes.
455, would this be the rear trunk of the vehicle?
Yes, that is correct.
And this was a hatchback, so the back would actually lift in the air, is that right?
Yes.
456, more of the trunk of the vehicle.
Correct.
What is being lifted up at that point?
I'm not sure. It seems to be some type of covering for the back there.
But it was searched, it looks like.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
it was.
457, more of the vehicle.
Yes.
458, what do we see here happening?
So the vehicle infotainment system is behind the screen of what you would see inside the vehicle. So you can see the screen up above, but right beneath it is where there's a hard drive. And so in order to extract the data from the infotainment system, I have to get that hard drive out of the vehicle. So I had to disassemble some of the components so that I could access the hard drive.
And there's actually a mouse in front of you if you want to hover over that area you were just talking about.
Click any buttons.
Yes, don't click, just hover,
Yes, ma'am.
please.
People be on business for a long time.
Please hover, sir, in that area you were speaking about.
So you can see that there's these little wires right here, the little connection points that I had to disconnect. The logic board where the hard drive is attached to. There's one right there, and there's a few down here. But in order to access this, you have to take the whole front face piece off of it.
And do we see that in that photo, that front face piece?
Yeah.
Can you please hover over that?
Right up above, up here. That's where like the volume for the stereo is, to change the channel, and things of those nature. So all that had to come out. So I lifted it and put it up there.
And this is a typical procedure of what you would do when trying to collect data from a infotainment system, correct?
That is correct.
And showing you 459. What do we see here?
These are, so once the logic board is taken out, I had to take specific pieces of that apart so I could access the hard drive. So what you're seeing here, there's one there's a second one here, and a third one. These are just cover pieces on the board itself to protect the hard drive so that if there's any, I don't know, maybe liquid or anything like that, it's protected. So I had to remove these pieces off of the hard drive itself and the logic board so I could access the hard drive.
Showing you 460. We see an extra piece there. What is that?
So this here is it's just a secondary logic board that's connected to the first one, and I believe over here, if you, kind of to the side, but pretty sure the hard drive was connected to this logic board over here. So it's just more pieces that need to be removed in order to access the hard drive.
And these tools that we see sort of above that area, I'm pointing there for you. It looks like some screwdrivers and different tools. That would be a part of your kit. Is that right?
That is correct.
Not something found in the vehicle.
No, not at all.
461. What do we see here?
More of the same pieces that were attached to the logic board themselves, and the tools are above there.
Now, these green objects, those are the logic boards that you're referring to?
Correct.
Okay. 462. Just more components to it.
That is correct. Coverings for the hard drive itself, yes.
463. What do we see there?
Some more of the tool sets. Right here is the back piece. You can see that there's a little vent because it has to keep cool, so it has to have air coming in and out. And then obviously all the screws that piece everything together to the main housing, and then just additional tools to perform the extraction of the hard drive.
So now that you've taken apart the infotainment system, what do you do after that point?
So once the hard drive has been removed from the logic board, I bring the hard drive back to the digital forensic lab, which is in the same building. I take it up to the digital forensic lab, and I connect the hard drive to a forensic computer. We have to use forensically sound methods, which means we have to prevent anything being written to the hard drive. So we use a write blocker, which only allows us to see the contents on the hard drive. So I can see the contents, but I'm not able to alter those. That way we preserve the evidence. So at that point, we create a digital forensic fingerprint, we'll call it. It's a hash value, but it's a fingerprint of the data on the hard drive. So when I extract the data and I put it on my forensic computer, I can then create another fingerprint and compare the two to what it was before and what it was afterwards to make sure they match. So I extracted the information, put it on the forensic computer, then I open up the Burla software that I mentioned earlier, which allows us to process and analyze the specific data on that hard drive.
So specifically, what type of data is being imported into this Burla software?
So the hard drive contents itself, there's databases. That's usually what infotainment systems have, are databases. Kind of think like an Excel spreadsheet. It's a database with input, data on there. And from there, it has to be analyzed. It has to be sorted through to figure out what specifically is it saying. What is the data?
So it may be an oversimplification, but it's essentially Burla acts as sort of a reader of the data. Is that right?
Yes.
And then puts it in a reader-friendly format so that you can actually see what this data is saying.
That is correct.
And it's not altering the data at any point when you're importing it from the drive into the Burla system, correct?
Correct.
So after you do that, the raw data is now inside the Burla system. What does the system do? Or what does the software do at that point?
It allows the user to be able to analyze it. So it, specifically for infotainments, this infotainment system, it recorded GPS location. And that GPS location is organized in trips. So when you start the vehicle, as soon as you put the key in and it turns it on to the accessories or on to the on position, it begins recording GPS, and it records that as a trip. So we'll just say that's going to be trip number 1. every second that GPS is recording on that trip number 1. So you may drive from here, point A to point B. As soon as you turn the vehicle off, that's trip 1. If you take the key out, you turn it back on, now you're on trip 2. And so it organizes it in these databases I was mentioning earlier. It organizes it in a process where you can see the trips. You can see the latitude, the longitude, the elevation, the speed during each GPS waypoint. So it records all these waypoints and it's organized in a way. So Burla, the software, allows us to go through and map all those waypoints, those GPS waypoints, so we can see the trip. So we can physically see, okay, this is where it started, and it's going along, and this is where it ended. And this was the speed, and such and such.
And it takes into account dates and times, correct?
Yes, I forgot to mention, I apologize. It does, every second that the GPS pings, as we'll call it, it records a date and a timestamp.
And then ultimately, are videos created that show in a friendly manner where the vehicle is moving at what date and what time around the valley?
Yes, the software, the Burla software allows you to take one of those trips and animate it so that it's what we would be visually appealing for us, what we're used to seeing. It puts it on a map and you can see it, plot it. You can see the vehicle go the direction and go from point A to point B.
So now that you have this raw data or this information that was put into the Burla software at this point, it's in a way that you can actually read it now. You then get some information that was gathered from Detective Ozawa, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that was related to the investigation. Specifically then, having that information, did you hone in on the dates of August 6th, 2023 to August 7th, 2023?
Yes.
And that was because that was of importance in the investigation, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And how do you actually sort of, do you just filter to those dates and times, or how do you just hone in on that?
Yeah, because everything's recorded in a descending from the oldest to the newest, you just scroll down to the dates you want, and you can see everything in with a 24-hour period or a 12-hour period, whatever is requested by the detective. And so he requested a specific time period, and so I just scrolled down and highlighted those at that point. Those were the focus.
And you were able to find 11 videos of evidentiary value, is that right?
Yes.
And so that would essentially be 11 trips or so?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And prior to testifying today, you provided those trips on a flash drive, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And I believe at this time, Your Honor, pursuant to stipulation of the parties, the state is going to move to admit Exhibit 7.
Yes, Your Honor.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
Don't format it.
Don't
please.
format it. Okay. Can I ask you to step down? Do you know what's going on with it, or
Yeah, if that's okay.
you're
Yeah.
the, you're the tech guy, so I better leave it to you.
Your Honor, I think I need to watch this all happen right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here. This is why we employ the experts. All right, sir. So I have pulled up here Exhibit 7. It appears that there are videos entitled number 1 through number 11.
We don't see it.
Oh, that would
Sorry.
be helpful. right, so we see here, again, video number 1 through video number 11 of Exhibit 7, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And going through this, obviously you went through each video, and there's certain trips that became important as part of the investigation, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So we're going to open up video number 1. I'm going to pause that. What do we see here in video number 1?
So this is the Burla software that I was explaining earlier. These videos I created. I just used a Windows capture program so you could see what I see as an examiner. So this is the Burla software. The trips that were of importance, I made videos for those trips. So this is one of the trips. If you look, I'm not going to click, but I'm going to hover my mouse over here. You can see this is the timestamp of when this trip, we're looking at trips, when this trip began on 8/6 of 2023 at 5:19 p.m. That's adjusted for UTC, for our time. It's not UTC. Everything is recorded in UTC. So we have to subtract the 7 hours. And then the trip ends on the same date at 5:58 and 33 seconds p.m. So one thing you'll notice if you look over here, you can see the count is 2,368. That's how many waypoints. Every second the GPS is recording, that's how many waypoints or GPS points are recorded in this trip. So you can see the distance was 25 miles, the elapsed time, the average speed, those things that that the GPS system will actually record. So what I did was, when we hit play, you'll be able to see, I'm going to animate this trip so you can follow where it goes.
And just briefly, because I don't think we've talked about this yet, can you explain what UTC time is?
Yes, so it's Greenwich time. It's the time over in England, and we are every hour that it's spread out by distance. And where we are at right now, we are, well, I think we're 8 now, but we were -7 at the time. So it's either -7 or -8. So everything is recorded in UTC time. It's the same way with computers and cell phones, vehicle infotainments. Everything is recorded in UTC time. And then the system and us, we have to manually adjust according to time, daylight savings or not.
And so the times we're seeing here are not UTC, they're the correct times.
They're
correct?
adjusted, yeah. And it even...
Yeah, I'm working on it. Thank you.
It set it on
thank
there.
you.
I adjusted it so we wouldn't have to do any math in our head or anything. It's just automatically adjusted.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press play on this video. And then I think we saw you click animate tracking. That's that process you were explaining previously, right?
Yes.
What else do we see?
So you're looking at the overview at this second. I'm zooming in so that as I hit play, you can follow it along.
Okay.
So this is where the trip starts. And you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, again, I'm not going to click, but you can see down here the date and the time when the trip started.
And what is that, just for the record?
That is 8/6 of 2023 at 5:19 and 12 seconds p.m.
Okay, and that's just where we're stopped right now, correct?
Correct, yes.
And we're able to determine that that dot right there is the 2698 Paladura Drive in Henderson, correct?
That is correct.
And then I'll go ahead and play for more. And what I notice right now is it's going fairly quickly. It looks like, I'll stop here.
Yeah,
The
if you just
bottom
pause it.
right, there's something that says 5 times. What does that mean?
Yeah, over here we're next to the mouse 5x. I didn't want to have a 45-minute video for a 45-minute trip, so I times it by 5 so it'd be a little bit quicker so that I could condense it a little bit. That's the only reason I made it 5 times, so we wouldn't be here all day watching videos.
And we appreciate that. Playing the video.
So at this point, you can see there's just a little bit of movement. It means the vehicle's on. It hasn't moved yet. There's a little bit of movement. It doesn't necessarily move that it doesn't mean that the vehicle has moved. It just means that it's on and it's recording GPS location. Kind of bounce around a little bit right in front of the residence. And you can see down here the seconds are moving rather quickly, but you can see the seconds there. Roughly 20, 25, and so on.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. Okay. At about, I think it was around 5:32, we then see the vehicle begin to move. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll press play. And it appears it's going down Windmill Parkway at this point outside of the neighborhood.
Yes.
And ultimately, this trip, as I scroll across, is just the vehicle is traveling across the valley, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And then ultimately, the vehicle comes to a stop, is that right?
Yes.
And that stop happens at 5510 Porcupine Rim Street, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And that's essentially the end of this trip.
Yes.
Then we have another trip, and that's labeled as video number 2, correct?
Yes.
Publishing.
You might have to use VLC.
And again, you're clicking animate tracking, correct?
Yes.
Track log, excuse me. And where is the start of this trip?
At the Porcupine address?
The 5510 Porcupine Rim?
Correct. Yes.
And what date and what time?
You can see the date down here. It is 8/6 of 2023 at 7:37 p.m.
Pressing play. And again, vehicle begins to travel, correct?
Yes.
I'm just quickly scrolling through. Again, this is at 5 times that you have it set at, correct?
That is
Or
correct.
5x. Ultimately, vehicle ending its trip at that same 2698 Paladura Drive, correct?
Yes,
In
correct.
Henderson?
Yes.
Okay, and roughly at about 8:06 p.m. on that same date, August 6, 2023, is when the vehicle comes to a stop on that trip, correct?
Correct.
And that's the end of that one.
Yes.
Okay. Opening file video number 3. Again, clicking animate track log.
So if I could just push pause just real quick. So this actually has 2 trips, and I'll explain real quick. So this first trip is very, very short. It's a span of 10 seconds. You can see the date here at 8/6/2023 at 11:05 and 46 seconds. The vehicle's either turned on or someone put the key into the accessory so you can listen to the radio. One of those 2 options, the vehicle was in on state, and for 10 seconds, this first trip here, I think we're calling it trip number 3, this trip number 3, the vehicle doesn't move, but the GPS is on and it's recording. And you're going to see that there's some movement there just because that's how GPS works. Sometimes it can be off anywhere from 5 to 30 feet, roughly.
And it is possible that the vehicle may have moved slightly, but it's hard to tell from this, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then I'll go ahead and press play. Okay. What are we seeing here?
And yeah, that was the 10 seconds. So I don't stop recording at this point. I now go to the next one, which is a few hours later.
And I'm just going to pause. Around what time did that trip start?
So this is a few hours later on the 7th at 2:04 a.m.
August 7th, 2023 at 2:04 a.m., correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And again, at the 2698 Paladura Drive address.
Correct.
And the vehicle is now moving, correct?
Yes.
Going down Windmill.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. And I'm going to pause here. It looks like at about 2:28 in the morning, same date, August 7th, 2023, it looks like the vehicle is sort of hovering in this one location for a bit. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And we determined that that was CVS located at Cheyenne and Durango with the address of 8320 West Cheyenne Ave, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Pressing play. The vehicle is now moving, is that right?
Yes.
At about 2:31 in the morning,
Yes.
same date.
Yes, on the August 7th.
I'll go ahead and skip ahead. The vehicle is making its way across the valley, correct?
Yes.
Ultimately landing at that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Correct.
And the time being 2:44 in the morning or so
Yes. that
on
is correct.
August 7th, 2023.
Yes.
Playing video number 3 with the annotation zoomed in at the end. And this is that same trip, correct?
Yes, I labeled it as zoomed in. I wasn't sure what was going on. You can see that there's a lot of movement down there. And after further investigation, it seems like
Okay, I'll stop you there. So at 2:44 in the morning, this is that Porcupine Rim sort of stop, but it appears that there is some movement within the neighborhood, correct?
correct. Yes.
Showing you video number 4. This is a new trip, correct?
Yes. This is at 8:01 a.m. on August 7th, 2023.
And the starting address is that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And I'll go ahead and skip ahead. Oh. It appears that the vehicle exits the neighborhood on Ann Road and then makes what looks like a U-turn back into the neighborhood,
Yes, that's correct.
back to that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Yes,
And this is at 8:06 a.m.
that is correct. The vehicle's left on at this point.
The vehicle begins moving again roughly at 8:10
Yes.
in the morning. Go ahead and skip ahead. I'm going to stop it right here at 8:16 in the morning. We see the vehicle, and it is stopped at what appears to be a Funny's gas station and car wash, correct?
That is correct.
And that's located at the intersection of Lone Mountain and Rancho there, specifically 4747 North Rancho Drive, correct?
Yes, that is right.
Pressing play.
At this point, the vehicle is still on. As soon as it turns off, the trip ends. So it's still on for these remaining minutes.
There appears to be some slight movement there around 8:18 in the morning, correct?
Correct.
Still some slight movement there,
Yes.
inching along. And that trip then ends, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Publishing video number 5. What time does this trip start?
This is on August 7th, 2023 at 8:21 a.m.
And this, again, we're starting at that Funny's car wash
Correct.
gas station. Looks like vehicle begins to move around 8:21 or so.
Yes.
Sort of those slight movements we saw earlier. And now the vehicle is moving out of that area, correct?
Correct.
The vehicle then proceeds through the valley.
And
Is
this is where
stopped
the vehicle
here.
parks.
Vehicle parks. Does it appear to have parked at a children's school, so at the Torrey Pines, Washburn sort of intersection there?
Yes,
that we
there's the
see?
elementary school there.
Okay, and that would be Ernest May Elementary School, correct?
Yes.
And the trip ultimately ends at that elementary school.
Correct.
Video number 6, picking up from there. And around, it appears 9:27 in the morning is when this trip starts, still on August 7th, 2023. And again, we are starting at that Ernest May Elementary School, correct?
That is correct.
And that trip ends vehicle goes back to that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
That's correct.
And ultimately ends there, correct?
That is correct. At 9:30 a.m.
Publishing video number 7. trip starts at that 5510 Porcupine Rim, correct? At 9:35 a.m.
Yes, on August 7th, 2023.
Go ahead and skip through. Traveling across the valley. Looks like it's on Summerlin Parkway. Ultimately, trip is concluding at 9:57 a.m.
That is correct.
And that appears to be Summerlin Hospital, 657 North Town Center Drive, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Publishing video number 8. It appears to begin at that Summerlin Hospital address, correct?
Yes.
At 10:09 a.m.
Yes,
on August 7th, 2023.
that is right.
Eventually ending at that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Correct.
And that was at 10:26 a.m. on August 7th, 2023.
Correct.
Publishing video number 9. The next trip. Starting out at the defendant's home, 5510 Porcupine Rim Street, at 11:33 in the morning, same date.
That's correct. Yes.
Ultimately, the vehicle traveling across town to scrolled a little too fast there. It appears the 2698 Paladura Drive address gets there around 12:07 in the afternoon.
Yes, that's correct.
And the car stays on at this point, it looks like.
Yes. Yes.
Scrolling forward a bit. And the trip ends there at 12:43 p.m., correct?
Correct.
Publishing video number 10. Next trip. Starting out at that 2698 Paladura Drive, correct?
Yes.
At 12:51 p.m. or so.
Correct.
Scroll through. Trip ends at about 12:54 p.m. and it appears that it ends at a Taco Bell at the corner of Windmill and Pecos, correct?
Correct. It's like a parking lot right there.
Finally, video number 11. Publishing. It's the next trip. And it originates from that Taco Bell at 1:31 p.m. on the same date. Ultimately, once we scroll through, ending at that 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Correct.
And it ends at 2:01 p.m. on August 7th, 2023.
Correct.
And between all these videos, these were, this was the date and time frame that Detective Ozawa was most interested in based on the investigation in the case, correct?
Yes.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Detective Spangler, now, when the car comes in, you're the one that actually physically goes in and pulls out the unit, correct?
Inside the vehicle?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
So it's sealed at the scene, and it's not open until you open the door, correct?
I didn't open the doors. The crime scene analysts, since they're the ones taking the pictures, they physically open the doors.
Were you present for that?
When they opened them?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. In your time in spending the car pulling out this unit, you kind of observe the general condition of the car when you're pulling out the unit, right?
Yes.
I'm putting up what's State's Exhibit 458. And then how do I switch over to this?
Yeah, we plug it back. Put that one.
And right here is where you take the unit out, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's correct.
And you see this, console with brushes and various items of Miss Michaels, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to put up what's State's Exhibit 448. This is a different view from the car, correct?
Yes, the driver's side.
And you would go into the driver's side to get that unit, so you would probably sit in the driver's seat and pull that out.
I believe I accessed both sides,
Both
at
sides,
some
okay.
point
So
throughout.
you're aware of the, the condition of the car and kind of what's in there,
In the front, yes.
right? It's kind of a messy car from your view of this, correct?
I have teenagers, so my idea of messy might be a little different.
Well, it doesn't look like it would just, it's not wiped down. I mean, look, she's got brushes, there's things in the car, it's dirty, we dirt on the floor, so it doesn't look like it just went and got detailed.
Correct.
Now, when you're accessing this unit and as you're pulling it out and looking at the console, and like you said, you accessed both sides of the car from the driver's side and potentially the passenger side,
Yes.
you didn't observe any blood in the car, did you?
I don't recall any blood.
Nothing on the steering wheel?
I don't recall touching the steering wheel, so I don't know, but I from my memory, I don't recall any blood on the steering wheel.
But you're in the middle looking at the console where someone would be touching, obviously if they put the car in gear, they've got the shift knob, so they would have to touch that. You didn't see any blood on that.
I didn't.
And I'm going to put up what State's Exhibit 451. This is just an ID that was found in there. Like I believe you said that you didn't see this, but this was something that would have been in the car with Miss Michaels' personal belongings, correct?
Yes, I personally didn't see this, so I don't know where it was, but the crime scene analyst must have taken it, so, yeah.
Now, going back to the videos that the state put up, there was a end of video 3. There was like some squiggly lines kind of going. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And you previously testified that when the car is there, it can give or take 30, 50 feet. In that clip, it looked like it was zoomed in on.
5 to 33 feet.
5 to 33 feet.
Correct.
Okay. And then, are you aware of the Funny's gas station, or you just know the location?
I'm not aware of it. I just look at the map.
So it's not like
Yeah.
you went out to Funny's and looked and saw what was there.
No.
Funny's gas station has gas pumps.
I would imagine.
And if I told you there was one, do you have any reason to disagree with me?
No.
At that location?
No.
Now, you looked at the infotainment system. Were you asked to do anything else on this case? to examine anything by Detective Ozawa at his request?
Yes, later on there was I believe it was a cell phone.
Cell phone, Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 cell phone. I don't want to read off all the model numbers, but it's safe to say you looked at that, or did he
Yes.
ask you to examine that?
That is correct.
And that happened to be one of Devyn Michaels' phones, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And that was a additional request by Detective Ozawa.
Yes.
Court's indulgence. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any follow-up, state?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Do the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have any questions for this witness? Okay, seeing no response, sir, you are excused. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
testimony.